name is Colton with the Minnesota Army National Guard. Today I want to explain to you the importance of movement and how you can simply implement it into your daily routines. First, I wanted to explain why exercise is important. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are already aware of the benefits of exercise. You lose weight, you gain strength, you decrease your all-cause mortality, and you become a generally healthier person. Those are pretty all-around well-known. But there is a couple things that a lot of people don't know, and they're very simple to implement into your life. I find that a lot of people who struggle with exercise are really the ones that either have an on or off switch. They either have to go all in or all out. So here's a couple ways that I personally integrate fitness into my everyday life. One of the easiest things you can do on a day-to-day basis is take multiple 10-minute walks throughout your day. There's a lot of benefits pertaining to a simple 10-minute walk after a meal or just in general. If any of you are aware or have heard of a man called Stan Efferding, he goes over this and he's accumulated lots of research on why a 10-minute walk is so important. One of the main reasons is obviously you're moving your body, you're expending calories, okay? When you're in a caloric deficit, you're expending calories, you're losing weight. Obesity is one of the main problems in the United States, causing mortality issues. People are dying because they're generally overweight. Now, they might have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, whatever the case may be, but that is caused by obesity. So one, right off the bat, you're moving, you're losing weight by expending calories. Two, if you're walking for 10 minutes after a meal, you're controlling your blood sugar. This is extremely important. So not only are you spiking insulin, but it's been shown that taking 3 10-minute walks a day in studies is more effective at controlling blood glucose levels than taking metformin, which is the #1 prescribed drug to type 1 diabetics. The other thing about 10-minute walks is they're so simple. You can do this at any point in the day, and it's really hard to tell yourself you can't do it. Taking a 10-minute walk is literally that easy. Taking a 10-minute walk at a nice pace after a meal is a fun thing to do. You get to go outside, have a conversation with someone, maybe listen to some educational stuff on your phone or catch up on some new music that you may have not listened to. It's really easy and sustainable, and that's kind of the key to this whole thing. You need to find things that are sustainable for you and your schedule. Now, there's hard ways to implement exercise into your life. I love doing hard stuff to exercise. That's my goal. As you saw in the PowerPoint, I'm a professional bodybuilder. Okay, I'm not like huge or massive. I'm what's called a physique bodybuilder. But I love lifting heavy weights. I love going on long runs. I love doing the hard stuff. But for a lot of people, you can't just jump into that modality. Once you do, you find out it's very hard. And so the sustainability of doing those hard things slowly crashes down. You might be in a really motivated mood on Monday, you do a 2-mile run, and you feel great. But the next day you're like, man, I'm kind of sore. I don't want to do that again. And so you maybe do a 1/2-mile run, and the next day you're like, my friends want to hang out in the morning. I'll just skip it for today. And then before you know it, now you're taking that time away from yourself, and you're not exercising anymore. So what you have to do is find those easy ways to implement exercise into your life. Hard ways are starting out by jogging 7 days a week. That's not reality. For a lot of people it can be, but you have to work up to that. It's not going to the weight room 7 days a week. That's hard. That's very hard to do. Start easy. Maybe 3 times a week you go for a light run. The rest of the time you're taking little 10-minute walks. Maybe 3 times a week you start lifting weights. It's all about building up to something that you can sustain. Now, exercise is extremely important for your health, for your well-being, and for your energy, yes. But the reality is 85 to 80% of your well-being and health in general is going to be caused by your diet. So this is another very, very important thing to take a roll on, and especially when you guys have this much time on your hands, you're not going to class, you're doing online classes. You shouldn't be aspiring to go out to eat. You should be aspiring to stay in and eat your own food. So just like exercise, there's easy ways to implement diet and nutrition, and there's hard ways. As I explained before, the people who flip the light on and off, they'll go all in on a really hardcore elimination diet where they only eat meat or they only eat vegetables, or they go really hard. And those don't work for long. You might do that for a week and then you start craving food, and now you want to eat out, and you eat out once and then you kind of throw it out the window right away. There's easy ways to implement diet, and they're quite simple, and that's by slowly and incrementally making those changes in your daily life. So one easy daily change is start making your own food. Don't consistently go out and eat like Qdoba and McDonald's and all the other things that are even seemingly healthy, like getting like a Subway sandwich. As healthy as that seems, it's not really that healthy as far as calories go. You're eating so many calories in a single meal that you're not even aware of. So simply starting by making your own food is probably the best step forward in your health and nutrition. So things to consider in your diet and why you need to have a good diet is your gut health. All right, that's extremely important. There's been many studies done showing that gut health is a very pivotal thing in your body. It controls your neurological pathways, the chemical reactions that happen in your brain. It controls your digestion. It controls your blood sugar levels. It controls your cholesterol. Your gut is how you digest food. So if you have a poor gut health, your gut bacteria isn't healthy, you don't have lots of it, you're experiencing, irritable bowel syndrome. You will get food allergies really easily. You get bloated, and you're generally unhealthy. Your body isn't able to extract the nutrients from the food that you're eating. So getting a good diet in that's consistent, you have lots of good foods in there like potatoes and fruits and vegetables. You're gonna have a good gut, and thus you will be able to digest food better. You'll be able to extract more of the nutrients from the food. This sounds dumb, but mental health. When you are eating good and eating the right foods, you need to understand that what you eat is how your body works, right? So if you're eating pizzas and you're getting a ton of saturated fat from that pizza, and that's all you're eating, and maybe another day you eat Qdoba, okay, that's fine once in a while, but now you have to realize that that's what your body's working with. And when your brain is forced to use those fats to produce its own cells and make those connections, now you're really screwing the pooch. You need to understand that the food you eat is what you are. So every 7 years, your body is a brand new. It's divided into new cells, and it's created a new body out of fully new cells. And those cells are created by the food you eat. So understanding that the food you put in your body is what you're being made of is really essential. And the mental health aspect of it, I'm sure you've heard of omega-3s, monounsaturated fats. These are things you should be striving to eat. I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but healthy food is going to create a healthy mind. And that is the one key piece that people miss. When they're deficient in vitamin D, it's been shown in studies that depression will follow. It's been shown that people who are deficient in iodine will have forms of dementia later in life. It's been shown that people who don't have enough omega-3s in their diet will then later on form dementia later in life. It's been shown that pregnant women who don't get an adequate source of CLA, which is the fat from red meats, their children will be 25% lower in IQ than the general population. So these are things that are actually shown in studies, and it's just by eating the right foods that you can change these variables in your diet. And probably the biggest thing right now in these times that we're living in is your immune system health, okay? When you're not eating healthy, you're not eating the right things, you're not eating the fruits, the vegetables, you're not getting at least 3 cups of vegetables a day, you're not getting at least 3 cups of fruits a day, your immune health is suffering greatly, okay? You're deficient in many vitamins and minerals, and as stupid as that sounds, it's very true. Your immune health will suffer, and if you don't want to get sick, if you want to be healthy and sustainable, you need to have good immune health. And part of that is all-encompassing exercise, diet, getting a variety of whole foods in your diet.
Smith, I'm going to go over a couple good foods that you can look for when you're going shopping for yourself. So first of all, eggs. You can implement it into basically any meal. Obviously the biggest one being breakfast, but you can also end the day with eggs. They're also high in protein and have great saturated fats for your body. So typically when people look for red meat, we're gonna go for the New York strip because it's a really fatty cut. It tastes really good, but what I want you guys to look for is the top of the tip sirloin cut because it's a leaner cut. It has less calories and more protein. So salmon's really good to fit into your diet a couple times a week. It's got omega-3s and DHA, which metabolize in the brain and help the brain to function properly. So another big option for you guys is going to be chicken breast. It's a great source of protein. It's super low in calories, so you can eat a lot more of it. However, it is not as nutritious as red meat. So a couple things to avoid would obviously be stuff like ice cream. You're not going to get very much nutritious value from this. However, there are great alternatives. One of them being Halo Top. It's just a lower fat version of ice cream, and this whole container only has 330 calories. Now compare this to Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's has about 1,300 calories plus per pint. So you can really put that into perspective, and these taste great. So a great alternative for carb sources is going to be potatoes. They're super healthy and they're very micronutrient dense. So throughout your day, you should be aiming to get 4 to 5 cups of a variety of vegetables. All vegetables are going to have a great source of nutrients to help you get through your day and just live a healthy life. Moving over to fruit, you need 2 to 3 cups a day. Variety. Again, it could be anything from strawberries to blueberries. Blueberries you can eat a ton of, and they're super filling and good, low calories.
All right, so we briefly touched on a couple things to implement daily movement into your life and general health. 10-minute walks, extremely easy, extremely important. Cardiovascular health is going to greatly improve your lifestyle. We touched on diet briefly, some easy ways to get a good diet in, and then we went to the grocery store where Specialist Smith provided you with some good options of food to eat. But all things considered, I have this idea of health in my mind, and it's sort of like a triangle. You have your cardiovascular and generally exercise as a one modality of health. Then you have your diet as another modality. And then finally, you have mental health as a modality. And just to speak on it briefly, because I'm no expert, but during these times, especially for me, when I'm usually out and active so much, doing many things a day, I'm suffering because I'm stuck at home. I can't do anything. It's very hard to provide myself with goals to move forward. I'm doing it, yes, but I just wanted to speak on the importance of mental health. All of these things will affect mental health. Mental health will affect exercise. Diet will affect exercise. Exercise will affect diet. Exercise will affect mental health. You get the idea. One really important thing and easy to do just to get your mind in the right place is set a goal. There's a saying that life is like a bicycle. And if you don't have a goal, you're not pedaling towards something. Well, if you're not pedaling a bike, it's not moving forward, that bike will fall over. So you need to set a goal for yourself, as simple as it is. Hey, maybe you do 3 10-minute walks today, and that is your goal. And once you set that goal, you write it down, you accomplish it, you're gonna feel good about yourself. Maybe that goal is making your bed in the morning. You do that goal, hey, great. Maybe that goal is turning in your assignment on time and doing it with all the complications going on in life right now. You do that goal, I guarantee you'll feel better about yourself. It's all about setting goals, especially in times like these where you're not moving, you're not constantly engaged in some sort of activity, and you're isolated. It's really important to find something to promote mental health, physical health, and your dietary health. So with that, guys, we're gonna end this video here. I just wanna say my name is Sergeant Colton Lukes with the Minnesota Army National Guard. I appreciate the time you've taken. After this, I wanna touch briefly on what the National Guard is if you don't already know, and the benefits it does have for you.